आज जो ये प्रोग्राम हो रहा है,
हाँ,
इसका मेन मोटो उद्देश्य क्या है?
Indian Engineers Federation is a federation of all state engineering associations, which is meant for the serving engineers. Those engineers who are working in the government sector can form their association in the respective state, and those associations are affiliated to this federation. So through this organ, we are going to submit our demands not only to the government of India, also to the respective state associations. You know why the associations are being formed? Because many of the problems faced by individual members cannot be brought to the notice of the government because they have no access to the government. They cannot go individually to plead the problems. So therefore they form the association. Through the association, they will discuss and deliberate, and afterwards they will submit a memorandum to the respective states and central government for getting the solutions.
क्या डिमांड
So
रहेगा?
therefore, this Indian Engineers Federation is an organ for this India, right? Wherein all the 31 state departments pertaining to the engineering departments have formed their association, and they are coming affiliated under this INDEF and meeting once in a year, like this annual council meeting. This is the annual council meeting wherein about 25 states have participated. And here we discuss the problems faced by engineers in their respective state, and they are discussing, and after discussion and deliberation we will come out with a resolution. That resolutions will be submitted to the government of India as well as to the respective states for salvation.
क्या क्या सब आपका डिमांड रहेगा?
So abhi the major demands of the Indian Engineers Federations are three. One is we have various parities among the pay scales and promotion. In the entire country, the Karnataka is giving some pay scales to some engineer cadres, and the same Manipur state, where an engineer with the same BE degree with experience is not getting the salary what an engineer gets in Bangalore, and the engineer in Odisha may be getting better than Puducherry, but the central government engineers may be getting much better than Orissa engineers. So this disparity is there. So we are demanding the government of India, respective governments, to see that uniform pay and uniform grade is constituted and created for the betterment of engineers throughout India. Because every engineer works for the betterment of the country or the state. We are all working for the people. So why there should be a discrimination among us? So that is why we are insisting the government of India to constitute an engineering commission who can study. No, the commission should be headed by none other than our retired Supreme Court judge. So who can just study the various problems encountered by the engineers all over India and give the report to the government of India, who can give directions to all state governments to follow the uniform pay. Just like our present government, Modi ji says, one government, one country, one rule. So like that, we also want one engineer in any place in the country should get the same promotion, same pay, same service condition. Therefore, today's annual convention is being hosted by Odisha Engineering Service Association at the invitation of OSA, and about 25 state office bearers of the association. Office bearers of the respective association have come and attending this program, and they are explaining, they are given an opportunity to explain their problems encountered in that respective state. So after deliberations, we will take a decision how that issue can be solved, how this problem can be solved, and finally, after discussion, we will prepare a resolution for each state, and that will be submitted to the respective governments.
सर ये थोड़ा एनालिसिस करेंगे कि देश का विकास में इंजीनियर्स का क्या भूमिका है?
Yes, it is a very valid question. सुनो, देखो, without engineers, nothing can be built in this country. Not only in this country, in the entire world. Engineers, particularly the government engineers, are very much important. Even to form the roads, even to generate the electricity, even to build dams, even to store water, even to provide drinking water, right? You ask anything, any infrastructure development ought to be planned and executed by only engineers.
बट ये सबका श्रेय और किसी को जाता है?
नहीं नहीं, हाँ, हम तो जो we are the people who work for it for months together, years together, but ultimately someone get acknowledgement. That is the fate of an engineers in this country. And what we want is, suppose if something is good, some senior officer at the higher level will receive the award. But if something goes wrong, the higher officers or IAS officers simply say he is at fault. So conduct an inquiry against him and take action against him, suspend him. ये करता है. So this is very bad. We are protesting even that also. And nowadays, what is happening? The engineers are threatened by the political masters. If they don't, our engineers doesn't listen to the political masters, the first and foremost punishment is immediately will be transferred from one part to another part which is 500 kilometers away. Sometimes they don't give posting also. If there is no posting, he doesn't get the salary for that month. He will have to wait till he gets the posting. After getting the posting only, he will get the salary. So we are opposing all these things. We don't want the political interference in the administration of an engineers, because we are here to serve. Whoever joins the government service, their intention is only to serve. If his interest is something different, he will not join the government service. In a government service, an engineer will get a meager salary. For example, I served the department for 38 years. When I joined, my pay was only 275 rupees. So even after serving for 38 years, my pay was less than a lakh. Suppose an engineer who was my classmate, who joined the private sector, within 5 years he will earn 1 lakh. So they are all working for the company, working for the benefit of a single man. The company, the owner will get the benefit. In that, he will give some tips to the engineer. No doubt he gives the salary to the extent of 1 lakh, but he will extract 10 lakhs from him. But whereas government gives only 50,000 rupees salary and make us to work for the benefit of the people. We work for the benefit of the people. So we are the real servers of this country when compared to engineers working in the private sector. So therefore, it is for the government to take care of our in-service engineers, give all benefits like promotions and pay scales from time to time. DA rise should be there. And according to Maslow, one of the scientists of management, in his theory he has said all human beings work for two aspects. One is social status, another is financial status. What do you mean by a social status? Everyone wants a recognition in the society. Recognition in the society. When we join the service, we are called as an assistant engineer. But after serving 10 years, we should be called as an executive engineer. After serving for 20 years, we should be called as a super engineer. If I complete 35 years of service, I should be at the place of chief engineer. Then the society will respect, oh, come, he's a great man, honor him. The entire society treats him as a top man, respected man. So that is called social status. And the second aspect is financial status. What do you mean by financial status? We want the pay hiked from time to time. An IAS officer with the same BE qualification, he attends, writes the competitive examination, and he gets into the IAS or IFS or IPS service, and he gets almost double the salary in the beginning itself. His effort is only IAS means I am safe. I am safe is IAS. He doesn't take risk. He doesn't go to the site, stand from morning till evening, and he will never look after the concreting. If some road structure is under construction, the engineer has to go to this road from morning till evening. He has to stand on the road. At least the lower category. Higher category, they come in a car, they will inspect, they will go back. But the army of engineers is in the execution side. Our service itself is a pyramid, right? The assistant engineer who is in charge of the construction, he will be in the road. But a top man may be in the office, air conditioned office. But most of the engineers, they work in the field. So therefore, they deserve all the benefits from the government, because they are just protecting the property of the government, providing all facilities that is required for the public.
सर आपका जो ये सब डिमांड है इसको पूरा करने के लिए गवर्नमेंट को क्या चैलेंज आ सकता है क्या?
ये ऐसा है, हमारा डिमांड आज का नहीं, ये तो 20 साल का डिमांड है. These demands are to be considered by the government through IAS officers only. See, there are three demands. As I told you, there is a parity among the service condition need to be set right only by constituting an engineering commission, for which an engineering commission has to be constituted with the note prepared by the IAS officer placed before the minister, and the concerned prime minister or chief minister who is supreme has to take a decision. These secretaries who are heading the departments are not making such a recommendation to the prime minister or chief minister to constitute a committee. That is number one. We are also, another demand of the Indian Engineers Federation is, in all engineering departments where the developmental works are there, we want the secretary of that particular department should be headed by only engineer, not the IAS officer. अब तो मेडिकल डिपार्टमेंट में मेडिकल डॉक्टर आपको डायरेक्टर हुआ तो अच्छा हो जाएगा. If you bring an IAS officer to be the head of the department, if you bring an IAS officer to be the medical superintendent of the hospital, what is that he can take a decision? If a doctor is there,
ये क्या मतलब सारे इंडिया में सारी जगह में ऐसे ही होता है? मतलब
नहीं, जो इंजीनियरिंग वर्क चल रहा है, जिसका डिपार्टमेंट होता है, उस डिपार्टमेंट का हेड हमको चाहिए इंजीनियर्स.
मतलब अभी तक कोई भी
नहीं होगा है हमारा वो 13 स्टेट्स में ये डिमांड वो तो एक्सेप्ट करके वो इंजीनियर्स को सेक्रेटरी बन गया है. वी वांट एवरी स्टेट इन एवरी स्टेट ओनली फॉर इंजीनियरिंग डिपार्टमेंट्स. वी आर नॉट आस्किंग द सेक्रेटरी पोस्ट इन मेडिकल डिपार्टमेंट. वी आर नॉट आस्किंग सेक्रेटरी पोस्ट इन एग्रीकल्चर डिपार्टमेंट. We want secretary post for roads and constructions, irrigation department, क्या rural development का, for example National Highway Authority of India, that should be headed by only an engineer, not an IAS officer. That is the demand. The third demand of our Engineers Federation is, see, we want parity with IAS officers. See, every IAS officer after 7 years of service, he gets first promotion. After 14 years of service, he gets second promotion. But similarly, an engineer who has served for 7 years will not be given a promotion. In some of the states, an engineer gets first promotion after completing 20 years, 25 years of service. So this has to go. One is, as I told you, we want social status. And when once we get promoted, naturally our pay scale will enhance, grade will enhance, we will have better salary. And an IAS officer who did BE along with me in my college, He passed out an IAS examination, and within 15 years he becomes secretary of the department. Whereas I, even after serving for 25 years, becoming chief engineer is difficult. So this has to be sorted out by the government. But they have to promote, sir. Engineers are to be promoted by the government to make them to work for the betterment of the country. For the sustainability of this country, engineers are to be motivated by giving social status and financial status. I would like to quote one instance, madam. तो हमारा जो फादर ऑफ इंजीनियरिंग कम्युनिटी सर एम विश्वेश्वरैया, you know Vishesharaya, Sir M. Vishesharaya, and see he passed. I mean he died almost 120 years, right? Even after 120, I mean we remember him. Why? His contribution to the country is so much. Everyone need to remember. Such a great man who joined this British government, and he worked for the betterment of this Bombay government, and earlier that Pakistan was also part of the Bombay government. He got accelerated promotion from assistant engineer to executive engineer and to super engineer. Within a short period, he rose to the level of the super engineer. But after that, he was not given chief engineer post. Why? The policy of the British government at that time was all heads of the department should be headed by only Britishers, not Indians. So Indians were given promotion one post below, and they were never made as the leaders. So that was the policy of the British government, and our Sir M. Vishesharaya coolly protested, resigned from the government service. Then he left the Bombay service. He went abroad to see the various countries' development. When he was on tour in foreign countries, he was called by Nizama of Hyderabad to come and work for his government, that he is going to provide you as the chief engineer post. And at the similar time, Maharaja of Mysore also gave an invitation. You come down from the foreign tour, come to my state, you will be made directly as the chief engineer. And his interest was to serve the Mysore state because he was belonging to Mysore. Then he came, but however, there was a very immense problem in Hyderabad. So he worked there in Hyderabad, and he gave a report for the improvement of the flood waters for about 6 months' time. Then he went to Mysore to join as a chief engineer. I am just quoting this for the simple reason, even in those days, Vishesharaya, no doubt one of the brilliant engineering personality of this country, also felt the social status is very important. Right? So like that, even there are, after Vishesharaya, there are thousands and thousands Vishesharayas have come and gone. But unfortunately, recognition was not given by the governments. At that time, Mysore Maharaja gave a recognition for Sir M. Vishesharaya by appointing him as the chief engineer, and after 2 years he became Diwan. So therefore, he proved his worth. So here also, our thousands and thousands engineers are quite capable. They are ready to serve this country, but suitable position should be given with suitable pay scales. So therefore, on the similar lines, today we are assembling here to discuss these problems and see that we are more than 2 lakhs people working for the state governments in all the states, and we are demanding that proper recognition should be there so that they will be motivated and they will work for the development of this country. Without engineers, nothing can be saved and served. and no prosperity can be seen. This federation is also required because in most of the states, because of the political masters, our engineers are threatened. Even political masters have gone to the extent of hitting our engineers and making them to die because of the heart attacks. Right? So the family who loses their bread earning member cannot raise their voice. But if that information made known to us, we will go for an agitation. We will urge the governments to take action against those miscreants, and we demand justice, and we will try to get justice through this platform. So the platform supports our engineering community. If something goes wrong, if somebody does something wrong to our engineers, we will be with their support.
सर ये जो गवर्नमेंट का विकसित भारत 2036 का जो चल रहा है, इसमें क्या मतलब ये इंजीनियर्स का क्या भूमिका होगा?
Madam, whatever the plans envisaged by the respective government of India or state governments, we have been given the task of completing that projects well in advance before 2036.
अच्छा.
And we are working for it. Though the office work starts at 10 o'clock, ends at 5:30, but if the deadline is fixed for 2036, we are forced to work even beyond office hours, even on holidays, and we will see that the vision of the Prime Minister is brought out.